Hi library friends, Miss Becky here, and today I want to show you how to make a cool tie-dye design using Sharpies. This project is perfect for teens in grades 6 through 12. If you're younger than that, make sure to check with your parents before you get started.
Tie-dyeing can be really fun, but also requires a lot of supplies. When you tie-dye with Sharpies, you probably already have most of the supplies at home. Here's what you'll need. White fabric. This can be a piece of fabric, an old t-shirt, or a tote bag, or even plain sneakers or a baseball hat. Sharpies. You can use whatever colors you want, but I would encourage you to try and use at least 3 different colors in your designs. Rubbing alcohol. You just need the standard rubbing alcohol that is used as a disinfectant. You probably have some in your medicine cabinet at home. A paintbrush, eyedropper, or squirt bottle to help you cover your design with rubbing alcohol. A piece of cardboard to prevent the Sharpies from bleeding onto the back of your t-shirt or onto your workspace. Lastly, you'll need something to hold your fabric taut while you draw your design. You can use something like an embroidery hoop if you're working in a circle, or if you're working in a larger area, you can use binder clips to clip your shirt to the cardboard.
So let's get started. First, you'll need to get whatever mechanism you're going to use to hold your fabric taut. Here I have an embroidery hoop that we can use to hold our fabric taut. If you don't have an embroidery hoop, you could use something like a plastic cup and a rubber band instead. Okay, I'm also going to use my cardboard and binder clips on the main part of the t-shirt. Once you get your t-shirt over the cardboard, you can center it, then just pull it back and clip it into place like this. And this allows your t-shirt to stay firmly in place while you're drawing on it with Sharpies, which lets you get a smoother design.
Next, choose colors for your design. I would suggest at least 3 different colors. Then you'll draw your design on the fabric. When drawing your design, don't worry about drawing with a lot of detail because your colors will bleed together. Instead, focus on where you want each color to be, how much white space you want, and how much color you want. The more white space you'll have, the lighter your design will be, and if you want a really vibrant design, you'll want a lot less white space. If you want to draw something that's more like a traditional tie-dye design, you'll want to work in a circle with rings and a pattern going out. So to start, you can put a circle in the middle, and then a band halfway out, and another band around the outer edge. Then you can work in a star-like pattern going out from the sides, and switch colors. Traditional tie-dye is in a circle and it's banded throughout. So once we get this diluted with the rubbing alcohol, it'll really kind of give the same general effect. But you don't have to do something that's a traditional design. You can really do anything that you want. Just keep in mind that the colors are going to bleed and run once you add the rubbing alcohol. I've had a lot of fun with a thick zigzag design. That starts out something like this, switching colors as the zigzag goes down. Once you're happy with your design, we'll move on to the next step, which is adding rubbing alcohol. Okay, so we'll use rubbing alcohol to dilute our design. Basically, this just breaks up the Sharpie and has it spread wherever rubbing alcohol is on your fabric. You can use a paintbrush an eyedropper or a spray bottle. It doesn't really matter what you use. The most important thing is just to get your fabric really, really saturated. If you're going to use a paintbrush, be careful because the Sharpie could tint your rubbing alcohol a color. So to prevent that, you can kind of just use the paintbrush to drip the rubbing alcohol on to the fabric. It takes a little bit more time, so if you're not concerned about tinting your rubbing alcohol, you can just paint the rubbing alcohol directly on. And it takes a little while, but the longer that the rubbing alcohol is on there, the more the Sharpie will bleed and spread. Okay, so that's a little sample of that. And then on this portion, I like to do each color separately so I can kind of control the way that it bleeds.
No.
And then you just keep going, and you can see that the lines that you drew become less defined. And as you put more rubbing alcohol on and let it sit for a longer amount of time, it spreads even further. Once you're done, leave the design inside of your embroidery hoop until the rubbing alcohol dries. Rubbing alcohol evaporates quicker than water, so it should only take 15 minutes. Then you can repeat the process on another portion of your fabric or go back in with Sharpies to add solid details.
If you created a shirt, I would suggest washing it before wearing it, and be cautious because the Sharpie could bleed on other items in the wash. After that, you're all done, and feel free to share what it is that you've made with the library because we'd love to see what it is that you've done. Bye!